The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum assemble. You're listening to Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he's our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
Or is it?
Or is it? Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler, and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
The fuck, man? Why you always laughing at me, man?
I'm laughing because it looked like we caught you in a moment. You're like, man, he went to me. I didn't know that was going to happen. But you were the only other one left. I don't...
Just leave me out of this.
There it is. Damn, that was so cool. I'm mad at him. Look, as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today because we get to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. It's going to be an in-depth and spoilery discussion. Full disclosure, we want you to know that right from the jump. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, and you don't want anything spoiled for you at all, we're sorry, because you may have to tune out for today's show.
You should know our motto by now.
What's our motto?
What's the matter with you?
It's like spoilers. They don't want spoilers. Fuck them.
I don't feel like that's our motto. Is that our motto? I don't know. Maybe it's not my motto.
We do encourage the fucking of people.
I'm not. Look, I'm already in trouble with HR. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna encourage that.
Yeah, play it safe.
No. Play it safe. Spoilers ahead for Spider-Man, and actually probably some spoilers for Hawkeye, the finale for the series, or the season. So, there's gonna be spoilers today. Spoilers abound. But if you've seen those things, and you're saying to yourself, man, it would be really cool to mess around and have to be in a discussion about that stuff. I have some thoughts. Guess what? You can go ahead and get down with Fantastic Forum, and we're going to tell you how to do that in just a moment. But first, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, the show wouldn't have happened. So thank you very much, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Hope you got to see Spider-Man as well. But who knows? Look, Scott has kids now. Man, you got to make plans to go see movies.
He has to like Spider-Man now.
He has to, right? He has no like. I don't know how big his kids are into the superhero thing. I know one of them. I know the
little boy.
The son likes Transformers. I know that he's a big Transformers fan, but I don't know.
Transformers or Bayformers?
No, Transformers. No, Transformers. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's looking at the cartoons.
I mean, it's a legit question. We've talked about the younglings that are now being raised to love Bayformers.
Right, they're like those cats that think Bumblebee is a Camaro, right?
I'm starting to think Anakin was.
Oh, wait, damn! We're gonna cut down the younglings.
Hey,
wait. I'm sorry. It's not a Camaro. It's a Mustang, isn't it?
No, it's a Camaro.
He did that specifically as a jab at me.
I don't know.
Your name was Henry Ford.
Anyway, so listen, if you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, we're going to tell you how to do it right now.
Want to get into the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Thank you very much, intern. Have a happy holiday.
Yeah, there you go again. We know holidays what you name your penis.
Wait, what?
I call mine the glory.
What? Wait a minute. Can we just listen? I'm gonna. No. Anyway,
I call my pants the octagon. You want to step in?
Oh Jesus! Really? So, if you're in chat, you can you can go ahead and reach us either in YouTube or in Twitch. Please feel free to comment. We will bring those comments out of chat and into the show, such as insert witty chat comment here, please, Jay.
Tiger Claw says, "What's up, Fantastic Forum? Did you guys watch the season final for Hawkeye? The big guy finally showed up."
Spoilers.
I was waiting for Mo to say his penis is witty chat comment.
He calls his penis the big guy.
Hawkeye. It always hits his target.
Exactly. So, folks, again, they're going to be spoilers. So if you're watching and you're like, oh, man, I haven't watched Hawkeye or I haven't seen Spider-Man yet, and you're like, look, keeping in mind, I feel like both of these experiences are things where even if you know what's going to happen, it's not really going to dampen you watching it that much.
So what is happening? Who is the big guy?
There it is. Moses.
Okay, so we're starting with Hawkeye.
Kingpin's in it.
Oh, Kingpin? D'Onofrio?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Well, see, all of a sudden he wants to watch Hawkeye now, all of a sudden, this guy.
No, I've been wanting to. I've just been busy.
I'm not sure how I feel about, and maybe this is a normal thing that I've missed.
Mm-hmm.
Hawaiian shirt Kingpin? Is that a thing?
No, Hawaiian shirt Kingpin, I feel is, well, you know what? I'll say this. I feel it's a new thing, but at the same time, despite having been buying every issue, I haven't been reading Daredevil currently. And I know that, but I find that it's probably not going to be, it can't be a regular thing in the comics because Kingpin's like mayor right now, right?
It's not. Look, this Hawaiian thing, like even he was at a tiki bar one day, went to him in the thing when Maya and Kazi went to him. He had a tiki bar set up like his Christmas party.
Oh, gotcha.
Because there is that song that Takaliki Naka is the thing to say on a cool Christmas day. You heard that song, right? You never heard that song?
Yeah, I know it.
His party was themed as Hawaiian themed party, and that's where he was at the end of the series.
Gotcha.
The pimp cane felt right though.
Yeah. I still have my pimp cane from the action figure somewhere, like in one of my boxes.
Yeah,
not Oz's boxes, but yeah.
No, that's classic Kingpin.
Yeah,
yeah,
and even like how he blocked with it and used it as a weapon, like is tight.
Derek H in chat says Hawaiian shirt Kingpin is from the comics. Like the messed up part is I don't know if Derek is just making a joke or not, because Derek reads comics periodically. Like he might have read a Daredevil issue with Kingpin in it or some other Marvel comic. That's possible.
Yeah, it could have happened.
Yeah. They're actually that.
But okay.
You said what?
I'm skeptical, but okay.
Yeah, I hear you. As am I. But
look,
Mo's explanation makes the most sense.
Everything was kind of Christmas themed in here,
Mm-hmm.
Like each episode was a different like Christmas song type, and and that one fit. Like that made sense to me.
Wait, each title like of the episode?
No, like each episode had like a song that resonates. That's like a Christmas song, whether it's like the Grinch song or I'll Be Home for Christmas. and it
got you.
resonates throughout the episode.
Yeah,
like, through line because it's different moments of somebody's experience during Christmas.
yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you, man. Like, I this isn't the same kind of synergy like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had with Captain America, the Winter Soldier. But it is like what a week to be like a Daredevil fan as far as like the TV show goes.
Oh yeah.
Because not only, of course, do you get the Kingpin reveal like from the week previous, and then you get Spider-Man that comes out, and then of course you see Kingpin in this Hawkeye episode, but then you also get the Matt Murdock cameo, and it's just like, dude, like it was only a cameo, but dude,
Yeah.
like it felt so good.
Yeah. Derek says, in Amazing Spider-Man Family Business, Kingpin has a Hawaiian shirt. He says, "Don't doubt my comic family."
Amazing
Family Business. It's an original graphic novel that's not. I don't think it's in any continuity. It's just like
wow, that is the actual outfit from the show.
Yeah, and
really?
It was written by Mark Waid. It was one of the last
nice.
Marvel, and he just did like a small run. And I thought it was just gonna be like the fact that he said #1, that kind of throws me off because when I knew about it, it was just gonna be published as like a trade paperback, just on the total, you know.
Nice. That's very cool. Like that's really interesting. And I wonder, was he having a Christmas tiki party on that too?
No, but isn't that one like Spider-Man has like a brother or some shit in that? Like, I didn't read it, but it was a weird thing like that. Like it's some family, kind of like how Kate had history with him. Oh no, that's not the one that's not the one I seen.
Oh wow! Look at that. That looks pretty cool. I love how that red and white plays off of everything. Like, wow, it's a great use of like that negative space. Yeah, that looks relatively recent.
That might have been.
It not?
They might have been a reprint. Because I know, like on our YouTube channel, we actually have the trailer for Family Business, and it was like something like 10, 15 years ago.
2018.
Yeah, that might be a reprint or something, or
it's 2014 reprinted in 18.
Yeah, oh, okay. Wow.
Hardcover. It was a hardcover, and then it was put out as a paperback in 18.
Yeah.
Damn. Wait, so 2014 is like 7-8 years ago? Oh Jesus.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, oh Jesus. Time, what's happening to time? No. That's very cool.
It's
well,
all
there
right.
you go. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. But yeah, man, I'm just like, for those people that were hoping for, Daredevil to kind of somehow sneak back into the MCU or get recognized, I guess, in the mainstream MCU, Yeah, it's good week. What did that comment say, Jay?
Hexzilla was saying, I thought Mo was wearing some HBK gloves from 95, but it's Spider-Man. My bad.
Indeed. He thought you were a sexy boy, Mo.
I heard he's an island boy.
I'm an island boy too.
Island boy. He's an island boy. So, dude, okay.
Wait. No, what, you're gonna go into Spider-Man already? Is that what you're doing?
I was going to.
No, you gotta give me my fucking due because I told you cocksuckers that was a Mockingbird. Linda Cardinelli was Mockingbird.
I don't think that's been proven.
You watched that last episode. It was her watch that they were going after, a S.H.I.E.L.D. watch thing, and it said Agent 19 on it.
Did it say Agent 19?
Yeah, it had number 19 on it.
Yeah, it had the S.H.I.E.L.D. and the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo with 19 on it, which is Mockingbird.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, don't smooth past it like like it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I didn't see it. I didn't hear anybody say. I hear anybody say Mockingbird.
I said Mockingbird. I said she was Mockingbird.
No, I heard you say it. What did the show say though?
I mentioned that there was a Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then Mo pointed out that doesn't exist in this universe.
Right. And now I'm proving that it doesn't exist in this universe.
How can we say it doesn't? How can we say it doesn't exist?
I mean, it exists in that multiverse, but not in that universe.
Why not?
Because it doesn't.
Listen,
she can Agent 19s.
But the Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't Agent 19, was she?
Yeah, she was.
Was she?
Yeah, she was.
I don't remember them referring to her.
I didn't even watch it, but I know she was.
Well, how you know if you didn't watch it? Like, they don't refer to her.
I'm giving you guys time to look it up.
So I'm saying, like, she can be Agent 19, and the other character can be Mockingbird.
Right, but Agent 19 is Mockingbird.
Well, but in the MCU, maybe Agent 19 isn't Mockingbird.
Why wouldn't it be? She's married to Hawkeye.
Because we already have a Mockingbird.
No, you people that like that shit show had a Mockingbird. What
do you mean? Like, why would you disparage Shield, Agents of Shield as a show? Why? You haven't even watched it.
I watched enough.
You look, Agents of Shield.
I'm looking it up, and same name, Barbara Morse, for both characters. It's Mockingbird.
Wait, what do you mean it's the same name?
The character of Mockingbird in Hawkeye has the same name as the Mockingbird in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hawkeye's wife in the MCU her name is Barbara Morse?
It is now.
Barton, sorry.
Bobby Barton. And that fits in line with the Stan Lee alliteration, so that makes it so.
Wait, so what are you saying, Oz?
I'm saying Mo's right.
Like, I'm saying, but isn't her name Laura in the TV show? I mean, in Hawkeye?
That's no. Her real name is Linda Cardellini.
What?
Linda Cardellini. That's who plays Hawkeye.
I'm talking about the character.
Oh. Well, that's hiding. They're in hiding, like witness relocation thing. That's why them finding the watch would fuck them up, because then they know that agent is there, and whoever's got a hit on her can go after her. She's like in witness protection.
I don't know, man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that I feel like
you just can't let me have my.
I'm saying the jury. No, I mean, she's definitely Agent 19. We can give her that, but we don't know that she's Mockingbird yet.
She's Mockingbird.
Yeah, she's been Mockingbird and retired.
Yeah.
she's been Agent 19 and retired.
In fact, at this point, that you remember that series, Hawkeye Mockingbird, from like 20 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now the MCU version played out even better because they actually ended up together.
I mean, I don't like. Okay, I don't know. All I'm saying is, in the MCU, things go different. In the same way how Ronin was Hawkeye first, right? Like Ronin in the comics is Echo, but it's different. I'm just saying she could be Agent 19 and maybe not be Mockingbird, but you might be right. And hopefully they'll explore it, because I would love to hear more about
it. It's done.
Yeah, she's retired. He's retiring too.
Larry just doesn't want to do what might do.
That's how the show ends. He's passing on the Hawkeye name because he's done. Finally, let the man rest.
He needs to be in Avengers. I need him in the next Avenger movie.
Well, sure. Then maybe you'd have at least one Avenger in that movie.
What does that mean? What are you talking about?
Thor's the only Avenger left, and he's a Revenger technically.
Wait, why?
You don't even have Hulk anymore.
Why would you not recognize all the other people that are there that are being Avengers?
They're not OG Avengers.
I mean, half of the people on that team aren't OG Avengers.
Everybody knows the sequel's never as good as the original.
Oh, you're talking about like OG, like from the movie?
Yeah. Cinematic. It's a cinematic universe. If we're talking
Like,
comic book,
why does that even matter?
Rogers the musical was closer to the original Avengers, wasn't it? Because it had Pym in it, I think.
It did have Pym in it, which is hilarious. Dude, that made me smile so big.
Move on to Spider-Man. Yeah.
No, man. You wanted to hang around in a Hawkeye.
You were smiling that whole song.
Oh, dude.
Not you, Lawrence. I'm talking to Mo. Yes.
Nah,
you're smiling right now.
That's when I tested my camera and shit. Because I was pissed. I'm like, what a waste of a fucking end credits scene.
Oh, how dare you! I'm sitting here like, man, I was like hoping at the end they're gonna be like Rogers the Musical touring 2022. I'm like, where do I buy my ticket?
This was big media pushing the gay agenda. That's what that was.
What are you talking about? Like, what kind of craziness are you saying? No, just because they're in a musical, they're gay people?
He's got a good point. You're right.
You saw them walking around like that. They all look like Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury's super cool. I like Freddie.
Yeah, he's great. He's amazing. I'm not gonna give him that. And gay people can be amazing. Some can be douches, but I don't want that.
Yes.
That's not, the great fucking series, and that's the end credit scene. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, what would you have preferred?
I don't know, something that let me know the next wave of shows or something, or I mean, because we already got the next thing is Doctor Strange, so I can understand them not wanting to put something, but something further down the line, or maybe explain how the fuck, like, okay, Vera Farmiga fucking hired the Black Widow assassin, but we saw that the hit was put on in Black Widow by Madam Hydra. Like, at least give us that connection, you know what I mean? Because there's I like, which is it? One is, which is it? That's a plot hole to me at this point. However, there could be some connection because Hydra can hire out a private, security firm that deals in mercenary shit like that too, for either money funneling or Hydra agents, whatever, She could be maybe tied to something bigger. Her having been that tied to Kingpin was kind of a letdown because I saw that the Black Widow assassin was coming, that Yelena was coming after Hawkeye. You know what I mean? I thought she was going to be tied more towards, like, she would be a ranking member of the board at Hydra,
Yelena?
No, Vera Farmiga, man. Eleanor Bishop.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that there's a missing connection there at this point for me. That's like a plot hole. I see it at this point. So, end credit scene that would kind of tie that loose end for me would have been great, even if it doesn't tell me what's coming next or whatever. But at this point, we know that there's Hydra shit creeping up again, or at least that's what they made it seem. And now it's like, okay, maybe there isn't.
Well, now, I mean, but I guess wouldn't you feel like those two things could be happening, but just be separate? Like, because Madam
Hydra gave her the hit for Clint Barton, and then here it's not the hit. So, who gave the hit? Like, what's the official canon?
Well, they tell us that the woman hired him. Right, so it's like Kate Bishop's mom hired her. I'm sorry, hired Yelena, but that doesn't mean that Madam Hydra didn't. What is that? No, it's like
somebody finished their Slurpee and threw it.
Come on, man. Listen. Yeah. But like,
I'm over here smoking in silence.
She could still be the one telling her. Madam Hydra could still be the one that just like let her know that, hey, this is the person that's responsible for your sister's death. And that very well, so it could be like a thing where maybe she was
Again,
going to.
if that was explained in the end credit scene, I'll accept it.
Got you. Okay.
But it wasn't.
Mo wants the receipts.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, where are we going at here, man? I mean, we're doing the Dark Avenger. Like, come on, like I'm invested in this TV universe that they got going.
I feel like Madam Hydra was there to do. I think she's doing some Thunderbolts type stuff.
Yeah. Although, really, man, I mean, Vera Farmiga as Madam Hydra would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she could be Spider-Woman, Madam Hydra, with the scroll shit and everything.
That's interesting.
Like she's that caliber of actress, and she's got a real interesting look. I love every movie she's in and stuff because of her look, the way she expresses the lines. Like, to me, it's almost like she is what you look at for in an acting performance. She does a really good job at that. She's got an interesting looking face. The beauty part is not too overpowering, so as you're not stepped out of that character, and she does it all well. And so her that caliber of a role, I think I would love to see that.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So cool. You all want to get to Spider-Man, or anybody got something else to say about Hawkeye? I mean, I'm sure we'll go back to it at some point, probably, but for now.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we should play some movie review music.
Oz, what are you gonna say before
I was
Larry?
just gonna ask what you guys thought happened with Kingpin.
Oh,
because we know Echo's got a TV show coming out.
Yeah. Oh well, I was watching it with Emily and Liz, and I told them, they're like, who died there? Like, who did they shoot? Because they don't show you. You hear the gunshot, you see the flash, but you don't see who got hit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So worst case scenario, I said, like, even if it was Kingpin that got shot, like, he's gonna live through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like, look, leave it to MCU, man. Leave it to MCU, Marvel Studios, and we'll get to this part of my opinion at Spider-Man. But they did the Kingpin like. They did everything awesome that the Daredevil series did, which was ABC Studios, you know what I mean? But they gave him that, like, okay, is he super powered or isn't he type of vibe in this, you know what I mean? Which is kind of how the Kingpin is. Like, this motherfucker took his body to the limit to where, like, he is One Punch Man, essentially, for those anime fans. Like, he's just a big, fat One Punch Man. Like, he did the fucking the push-ups and sit-ups and the 10 kilometers, and then he's just a big fat dude, but he's also like 80% lean body mass, or some shit like that, and he can lift a car when he wants to. He just doesn't do it because he always like he told Maya, like, fly under the radar, like his chest could stop a bullet at a certain caliber, up to a certain caliber. So I'm not worried about him getting shot. Yeah, like even with the arrow, like the arrow just went and he just broke it off.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the look, as awesome as the Daredevil series was on Netflix, like Marvel Studios doing the Kingpin just took it to that other level, man. And I know Oz is getting ready to hit that button.
Oh boy.
But at this point, I'm all in on Marvel Studios. I let them do whatever the fuck they want to do. I don't give a shit.
They definitely like show they implied, just like in the comics, like, you don't know if he has powers. I mean, dude ripped the door off a car,
right? And then he got hit by that same car, and he gets up from a big ass explosion of like every trick arrow.
There are several points. Well, there's at least a couple of points where you think, okay, he's dead or unconscious, and he gets right back up and starts fighting again. It's like,
yeah. And in the Daredevil series, like, they did it, but it's like implied, like they didn't spend too much time on, like, okay, we don't want to make it look too hyperbolic, you know what I mean? But at this point in Marvel Studios stage in the game, like, hyperbolic is like the shit. You know, like, make it look like the fucking comics. Who gives a shit? If they don't like it, they don't like it. We'll make a good one next season. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. The Kingpin was like the portrayal and the way that, you know, they like the way that they had him fighting in this was really cool. And I do like how that fight played out, because it wasn't like they did a good job of not overpowering Kate Bishop.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, she tried to do what she knew and it wasn't enough, you know, but she still managed to succeed, which is like, and then even like when Barton tells her, like, you know, you went up against Hawkeye, very few people walk away from that. I mean, against Kingpin, very few people walk away from that. Like that.
Yeah.
That tells me something about you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I can't wait to have Into the Kingpin verse with oh wait, no, he's dead. Never mind. Michael Clark Duncan and Vincent
That's rough,
D'Onofrio
man. Oh, jeez. Sheesh. All right. Is it time?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
And I gotta find the song again because
I
was busy hitting the.
Oh boy.
Comic book theater.
All right, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Wow. Like, where do you all want to start with this?
I didn't like it. Well, look, I mean, leading up to it, I mean, here's my story, man. We talked about the trailer before on the show. If you're not new to the show, you heard us talk about it, and it's the one time that I've been anticipating a movie. Like, I wanted to see this. I'm hyped, and there's a lot of hype around it too. There's a lot of suppositions and things that leak that people think like, oh, this is good, and I'm like, yeah. You also thought you had Quicksilver in WandaVision, you know, like Marvel does this weird shit about that, you know. So, but I was excited, man. I bought my ticket ahead of time, and you know, Emily didn't know what her work schedule was gonna be like, and then I didn't know what you guys were gonna do. So I was, man, on Thursday night I was gonna just ditch work and go watch it by myself. And then it turned out to not be the case. So I was able to get some tickets, and you and Joe were able to get tickets to the same place, just sitting behind me. So
yeah,
for the one time I wasn't mad about black people sitting behind me at a theater. Yeah. So. But so yeah, the whole experience. I mean, I got there, like, the movie started at, you know, there was some scheduling issues with my work, and it's not that I almost didn't make it, but I had to move shit around because, you know, shit happens, and I got there at 6:58.
Oh,
the movie started at 7, so yeah, I got to see the Sonic trailer. That was cool. Finally saw that.
Yeah. So, and Oz, you were definitely missed, man. Like, it would have been perfect if you were able to be there with us, but
sure,
obviously,
no, I couldn't enjoy it. This a-hole on Fantastic Forum spoiled the whole movie for me months ago. Like, beat for beat, everything he said happened. I just wish I could remember his name, that handsome fellow.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's the one thing you got to say about this movie too, is that, like, everything you thought you knew, like, yeah, a lot of us went in spoiled, but the execution and watching it play out is where it really shines.
Indeed.
So it's not like, yeah, like we knew in some capacity we're going to see Garfield and maybe Toby, you know, and maybe the villains from the other movies, you know, before even the trailer, once the trailer came out. But once seeing everything go down was a whole different beast. And that's why I'm not even afraid of spoilers or of giving spoilers in this movie because it's like the journey of it, like that experience. Like you can't take that experience away from anybody. No matter how hard you try. Like it's such a good experience watching this fucking movie, man.
Yeah. And so the movie basically starts off with Peter Parker like beginning to adjust to his new reality where people know his identity, where they know that he's Spider-Man. And, you know, his life is in shambles now because like Mysterio outs him and makes everybody feel like he is a menace. And of course you got J. Jonah Jameson there pushing that as well, because that's what J. Jonah Jameson does, right? So it starts off with it in that realm and in that scenario. How did you all feel about the portrayal of Peter Parker in that scenario inside the MCU? Anyone jump in. What do y'all think about it? Or what do y'all think about it?
I mean,
okay.
It's tough to whittle it down to just that one portion, because this movie made me feel like the entire home trilogy is the Spider-Man origin story. You know, it's not until this third one that he actually becomes the Spider-Man that, you know, we know and love. You strip out the Stark tech, you get rid of all that crap, make him have to use his brain and actually like do stuff. And I think by the end of this movie, we finally get that Spider-Man that we wanted since the first one. And so it kind of makes the other two movies feel like the first two acts of a 3-part not trilogy, because that's what it is. One long ass movie.
Yeah.
And it takes two better Spider-Man to teach him how to be a Spider-Man.
Look, it's not better, but it's more seasoned. I think that I will get to that little aspect a little later, but how I said like this, like the whole time with him, you know, the trial of him, being cleared of killing Mysterio, or however that played out, because they just kind of rushed through all that, and then all of a sudden he's trying to get into college again, you know. And then that one that felt a little rushed, not in terms of this movie as a whole, but like in the comics that would have been a more long aspect of the story. You know,
like that could have been the main point of the whole movie if they wanted it to be.
Let's complain about MIT and more of that.
Say that again.
Less on the MIT stuff and more on that. And to kind of go along with you're asking how this Spider-Man reacts in this movie and acts in this movie, you know, I think him towards the end realizing that he can't have everything, and that's how things are going to be better. I don't know how to explain it properly.
I know,
but, you know, it's the Peter Parker thing to do. That my life is going to get shittier, but these people, everybody around me is going to be better off. And that to me, at least when Spider-Man was conceptualized and how I kind of felt about the character, is Peter Parker is a character whose life doesn't get better when he gets superpowers, but he still does what is right, even if it hurts him personally. You know, he's gonna do the right thing to make life better for everyone else. And he finally gets to that point, I feel, in this third movie. Because up until now, he's had all kinds of support. You know, he's got the Avengers got his back. He's got the Stark Tech. He's got
got his back.
Yeah, even in the beginning of this movie, he's got, you know, everything's going wrong, and he's got somebody that he can go to and help him out with that. And I feel like at the end, when this movie's over, he doesn't have any of that. He's starting back from square one. He's got to make his own suit. You know, it's just, I can't wait for Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, fair. So, you look like you were about to say something, Mo.
Oh no. It's kind of I was kind of gonna reiterate some of the shit that Oz said and how it's all just one big origin for Spider-Man, and you know he's you know the fact that there was 3 Spider-Men in here, the Garfield, the Toby, and the Holland, and they're all at different stages of their lives. Like Toby's an old ass man, and we get a sense that he's been Spider-Man, whatever, like long since we last saw him, and he's still dealing with it. And Garfield similar, and then here, and it's like, but when you think about it, this Holland Spider-Man has had more experience, bigger experience, crazier experiences than all those that we know of, and he still doesn't get what it means to be Spider-Man until he meets these dudes. And that's a really big, really good concept of this movie too, where it's like, we all have that moment, that Uncle Ben moment, like I almost wish they had a Spider-Gwen in here too, because like her loss was Peter Parker, but it wouldn't make sense with the way the story went with like the people that know that he would come in here, in that respect.
Right.
But it feels like a Spider-Verse thing. Like her loss was a big loss, and it was Peter Parker. And then, when you talk about Spider-Verse, you also think, in the comics, where the one guy where it's like the spider totem is Uncle Ben. And he's like, yeah, I lost the entire planet. Fighting off these fucking inheritors. Yeah. That's neither here nor there. That's a whole other thing. But they really just crafted a really good movie. And how Oz says, like, I can't wait to watch Spider-Man 4. I wish they'd never make anything Spider-Man ever again. Like, this is where it needs to end. Like, I was actually hoping I got hit by a bus stepping out of the theater. Like, it's like a high point in my fandom. But for Spider-Man is this. Yeah. Finally.
Right.
I've been dealing with these fucking crappy movies and some better than others. And then this one's like just man.
Yeah, it feels very much like the essence of Spider-Man.
Yeah, on every level, and it gets darker, and it gets, it goes from being dark to funny, which is what Spider-Man does from one panel to the next in the comics, and the movie did it too, which is like, you look at like Snyder's movies, and it's like, oh, we got to make it dark, we got to make it gritty, and it's like it can be everything. It's comic books, like it's a roller coaster ride in 22 pages. You're drawing the line at DC, but you can do everything. You take people on an emotional ride, panel by panel,
and it doesn't even take that much. Like it's just little details that can just leave a big impression. Like when they find out that Maguire's web comes out of him, and then they talk about it, but then at one point Garfield gets shot in the face with the web. It's like, ugh. Like it's less than a second, but it's still like in the middle of an action sequence. It's just funny, and it kind of lightens it up. And it would feel like that one panel you would get that make you laugh before you get back into some of the dark stuff.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about because that the whole identity reveal thing is, of course, like where the movie starts, and we knew that was going to happen. And of course, because of the trailer, you also know that he goes to Doctor Strange to ask for help. So you have this whole sequence with him and Doctor Strange, like which again, like this is like again where in much in the same way where you could have had like an entire movie that would have been just the identity crisis kind of stuff. It almost feels like you could have had a whole nother movie that was just about his interactions with Doctor Strange in this way. Like it totally could have been a movie about him having to bring, villains back and just him like trying to fix the mess he makes in regards to that spell. What did you all think about Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal and the relationship that Doctor Strange and Spider-Man have in this movie? Why don't we start with you, Jay?
Oh, I thought it was great. Like, I loved him in this movie. Yeah, it really fit. It felt good. Their interactions and the whole, like, what actually is the catalyst, like trying to do the spell and Peter fucking it up. Like, it was good. And like the little comedic back and forth with him like saying, "Call me sir," and "Don't call me sir," like that was pretty good.
Yeah. And there was some pretty amazing sequences in that too, like where it's just like, I mean, first of all, just the spell in and of itself was cool looking, and then of course you get to the point where you have Peter Parker messing the spell up, and then you have the villains coming through and whatnot, and it's just like there's a lot of really good stuff there when it comes to Peter Parker and Doctor Strange's, not only their relationship, but also like when they start going at odds, because that's like the other part of it where like I said, you could have had a movie with just him trying to fix the mistake he makes, but then you have the point where they come at odds in regards to like the way that they choose to see the situation and how it is that's the best way to fix it. And so because you have Doctor Strange and Spider-Man at odds, it's like I guess you could call it a fight, but it's almost like a chase scene that's just amazing. So I don't know, what do you all think of all that stuff?
Well, you don't even know how amazing it was.
Why don't I know how amazing it was?
Because, like, even that, like, when he figures out the mathematical equation to get the fuck out of the mirror universe.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But the fact that he has that, like, that's the first time we really see this fucking MCU Spider-Man use his fucking brain.
Yeah.
Like he's on a Reed Richards level. Like, when that hero worship he has for Tony Stark, like, they play a lot on that in this series,
Mm-hmm.
But to me, like, I mean, and to you, Larry, and Jill, and even Oz, who read fucking comics,
Mm-hmm.
it's like he's a peer and he's just a kid,
Yeah.
But he's on that level, like maybe not like on a Reed Richards level or a Tony Stark in like the futurism or like the quantum shit but he can have a conversation with Pym and all those the Knights of the Atomic Round Table, like he can have a talk with all of those dudes and fit right in, and they don't know that he's a fucking kid, But
I think the best thing is like how, like, a lot of times when you do see them, like all the smart characters getting together, they want Spider-Man there because he's smart enough to understand what's happening, but he's also unconventional.
Yeah.
So he's like good at seeing things that they might miss. And it's his understanding, like he's smart because he's smart enough to understand everything that's going on. Like, it helps them having them there because he's smart enough to be there and an unconventional thinker.
Like, I like to put it, he's smart enough to know that he's not as smart as they are, so he can kind of give them a different like perspective. And even like the equation he used is like, I mean, I was high as fuck when I saw it, so of course I saw all that math going through my head, but it is the formula for the golden spiral, the same formula that it's the formula for like a spider weaving its web, so that's why, like, the fact that his spider sense, I like to think his spider sense teamed up with his intelligence and made him see that. and he trapped fucking Doctor Strange in the mirror universe. Like that's
Right.
amazing. And I've read a lot of the fucking that's one of my favorite team ups, and that's another reason why I love this fucking movie. My favorite team ups with Spider-Man have always been like your Spider-Man, Daredevil, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man Wolverine. Now I still haven't seen that, but who knows? MCU is still young now, but I'm still waiting to see that. But those have been my favorite team ups, and I really love those. And like this movie gave me essentially two of those three. We got the Daredevil one, we got the Doctor Strange in a sense. But yeah, now it's like just that the Doctor Strange, like seeing, okay, yeah, yeah, we fought together. You can call me Steven, but then he's like, hey, you know what? You're a fucking kid. This is about college? What the fuck? That alone, it's just, I don't know. Like one of the things I told my clients, because I've been talking about this all week, because they're like, I know you saw it, right? And I'm like, yeah, I saw it. I had a guy that saw it 4 times.
Wow.
They were trying to get tickets online, him and his 4 friends. And then they each got 4 tickets. So they're like, I guess we're gonna see it 4 times. Yeah.
Damn.
So but yeah, it ended up like the way I tell it to them is this movie pretty much just did hit all these points that it needed to hit, and then that's just half of the movie. Then it went into this whole other shit.
Right. And that's really the thing with this movie, where it's like, we've already talked about these first 2 parts, where it's like there are people that would have made just that part, just that aspect, the movie, but instead this joint like jumps from that now, and now you've left this whole mystical chase scene, and Doctor Strange is trapped in the Mirrorverse or whatever, and now you have friggin' Spider-Man with his team of people, with his friends, trying to figure out how to come up with a better solution to this problem. And the whole thing of trying to like redeem these villains, which is like, it's crazy because it feels so Spider-Man like in a way that I'm just like, wow, like I'm like, man, like this feels like a part of Dan Slott's run, you know?
Well, even like just that the fact that he imprisoned them, he caught him. Like I know even that asshole on Fantastic Forum said that, it's gonna be him trying to catch him, and it's like that was 5 minutes. Like you said, it's him gonna try, and he caught him, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Now, what do we do next? Like they went to the what do we do next? Instead of making that the whole movie, and it's just. That the fact that this version of Spider-Man decided that, you know what, I think I can fix them. I have the technology because of the Stark shit, and he has his own intelligence, and he has his like. It's like they don't have, just because that's what they were doesn't mean that's what they have to be. Kind of second chance mentality, which is like you said, so Spider-Man. It's like. It's fucking heartwarming as fuck.
You think that made sense to you then?
That he tried to fix him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, because the premise is that they were taken out of their universe just before their death.
Right.
I don't know what fixing them was going to prevent. Like, how's that going to prevent them
from
from
one,
dying?
it would have prevented their death. They probably could have they could have put them back wherever they're going to put them back.
I mean, if you put them back where you took them out, and the point you took them out is they were about to die, then
right.
Like changing them. Okay, you changed them, but look, Tobey Maguire changed Doc Ock before he died. That's so he's still dead. Is my point.
Well, we don't know that. Like he could put him right before he starts trying to harness that sun and goes into the ocean. Like it doesn't. It's not like he wasn't wet when he came out, so it wasn't when he was in the ocean.
I mean, he came out from underneath that bridge, though.
Yeah,
But-
but it doesn't matter. But and that's the thing. It's like that's the thing that Oz won't get about Spider-Man. And he doesn't care about that semantic right there.
Yeah.
He wants to do what's right for these people, even though he plucked them out. And he's like, well, they don't need to be like this. If I give them, maybe they're just going to die. But at least in their mind, they're going to die knowing they weren't the bad guy at this point.
Mhm.
You know, they'll have some peace in the rest.
Like the futility of it almost makes it more Spider-Man, not less. You
Yeah.
know, where he's like, you know, maybe there's like an off chance that if they change, maybe they don't have to, and
Like-
that fate can be avoided.
Even the trying, because I mean, if you want to go by that, it's like, whoa, I'm just trying to get my friends into MIT. Like that futility is Spider-Man. Like he's like, I don't want my shit to fuck their shit up. They
Yeah.
don't need, you know.
It's just little things like, well, the lizard I don't think gets killed, and when
Yeah.
the three Peters are doing their thing, like the dude actually says, "Oh yeah, I'll take care of Connors because I've actually cured him already before." I'm like, okay, so you send the lizard back, he's gonna be cured. Like, what are we doing? Okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, have you read any comics with the lizard?
He wasn't in any of the superior ones, I don't think.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think so.
he fixes the lizard every like twice
Yeah.
a year.
Oh,
Yeah,
he goes back to being the lizard at some point.
Well,
Oh yeah.
At one point, like the thing about the lizard is that the lizard wants to be whole. There's something missing.
Mhm.
You know, Kirk Connors, there's something missing, and he goes towards something that he feels is the solution and isn't. And it's a allegory or a metaphor for addiction. You know, for filling that void in yourself. And that's what makes the lizard a great. Now, I'm pretty sure that's not what it feels like in that Andrew Garfield movie. But you know, you look at stories like Torment, you know, like the Todd McFarlane
Yeah.
one. That's really what the lizard is about. It's about addiction. Like you only
Mhm.
feel whole when you're the fucking monster.
Yeah. Which
like-
and the irony is that he is actually whole then because you know he misses the arm
Yeah,
when he's not the lizard. So
yeah,
The arm falls off every time he's cured.
yeah.
he never has
Okay. Yeah. I was glad that I'm gonna say fixed Goblin.
yeah.
Like I went and I was watching it with Amber, and when he punches the mask and breaks it, I looked at it, I was like, yeah, fuck that mask. Everybody
Mhm.
hates that mask.
Mhm.
And letting Defoe use his face to be the Goblin, like that's what they should have done from the
Yeah.
get-go.
Mhm.
And so I think
Like,
that was
another-
kind of the breaking that mask was for us, for the audience that watched that first movie and hated that mask, and seeing Defoe just go at it and be the Goblin
Mhm.
was amazing to watch. Like that, I wish that's what we would have got in the first movie. But if we had got that in the first movie, it wouldn't have been so impactful in this one. So I don't know how to feel about that.
An interesting aside, dude, I was reading an article, and the dude was like, "I'll be the Goblin again, but I have to do all the action scenes." So, like, that's really him up there doing everything. Like, they wrote it for him to like not be too complicated, so he could still pull it off.
Yeah. I will say too that I really loved what they.
Here,
Oh,
before
what?
we get into that, Joe, man, your subtlety is fucking genius, man. That little
Is
Civil
it?
picture you got back there for the
Oh yeah.
fucking virtual high five, man. Kirby,
Yeah.
Kirby hands, there it is. So no, I was just gonna say that I love what they did too with how they put him in that that hoodie and like the outfit he was wearing. What?
We know you hate hoodies.
Why do I hate hoodies?
That's why you hate Scarlet Spider originally.
No, but listen. The friggin' like the way that they like were able to make his clothing look like the Green Goblin outfit. I was just like, dude, that is some like next level kind of stuff because it's regular clothes. But when you look at it, especially when he's flying around or whatnot afterwards, I'm like, damn, that looks like the Green Goblin. It's so good.
Getting messed up more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Where that hoodie just becomes the hood and the rag.
Yeah, man, it was awesome, man. And I'm just like, dude, like that little kind of subtlety there is like one of those things that just made that movie like amazing. Like just because it's like we got like all of these characters, with the exception of I feel of maybe Sandman, were all like messed up versions of these characters, basically, except for and I'm sorry, and Dr. Octopus. I'm sorry, Dr. Octopus is good. But you know, like that Goblin, that Electro, it's like that Lizard, like that. Those are like subpar. They were subpar versions in those other movies, and for them to be able to come in and basically, like, for all intents and purposes, fix them and give us better versions of all of those people with the same actors. It's like, come on, man. It's like it just goes to show. It's like it could have been better.
And that's the thing, like one of the things we're talking with these clients, and it's like there's a big fucking, when you got a good script and a good director, you can do good things with these comics. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because even just having like Electro, the notion of Electro coming to this universe, and then okay, there's an arc reactor in this universe. Like, I need that, you know, like that alone, and then having that be like he essentially turned himself into a god with that because now he doesn't need to suck energy from everything, and that was amazing. And even like Green Goblin, like preying on people's good intentions, like he knew that, because that's kind of how he like preyed on Parker in that first movie. So he's like, here I can do it, but they're even more compassionate, you know, like Sandman, I mean, Sandman was awesome. Period. Like,
yeah,
like he's always been awesome. Like he was the best part of the Spider-Man 3, and the way they characterize him, like they didn't have to change him at all. Like even here, like he went back to doing bad shit, but because I just want to get back to my daughter.
Right,
like,
right.
Same shit as he did in Spider-Man 3. They didn't have to change. That's how awesome he was. They didn't have to change him at all for the MCU, you know?
Yeah.
And it's man, this movie, like, so fucking good.
Right.
Like, just everything, like the Aunt May being the Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
You know, like that alone, like, fuck, dude. I'm not ashamed to fucking say I cried my fucking eyes out, man.
Oh, dude, it was so sad.
I was like, look, here's the thing. Like, I cried at the trailer because I'm like, this looks so fucking amazing. Like, am I finally gonna get like a Spider-Man movie worthy of me liking it? You know? And it's, you know, I could, you know, I got that with Into the Spider-Verse. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to me, for a long time, that was the best Spider-Man movie.
Right.
Because it hit all the points, but it's still like Miles isn't my Spider-Man. You know, like I want a good Peter Parker, you know?
Right.
And then this movie did it, like even going back to that classic costume. Spandex. Fucking amazing.
Yeah. And so we get to the point where we have, you know, him trying to fix these villains so he can eventually save them. And of course, you just talked about how, you know, you eventually get the turn and the villains just kind of do what the villains normally do. And in the midst of that all happening and whatnot, you have the other universe Spider-Man come onto the scene. And so, you know, you have friggin' Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker and you have Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. And, you all have like touched on this, bit by bit as we've been talking about it, obviously, but let's go deeper into the interaction and what that's like with these three Spider-Men, like meeting each other, learning each other, and what their interaction is like on screen, and what that was like for you all. So, what was it like for you, Oz? How did you like it?
It bothered me that Tobey Maguire's hair bothered me. Like,
what was wrong with his hair?
It's just, I don't know, that high and tight buzz cut was weird. It just he just looked funny. But having said that, dude stepped right into that role again. Like he walks through that portal, which, by the way, Ned Leeds in Magic. We're gonna have to have a discussion on that. He walks through that portal, and before he even says anything, I feel like he's already apologized, like for being there. I'm like, yeah, that was Tobey Maguire. Same with Garfield, like walking in, like, oh, like you see that tall, lanky Spider-Man with the big eyes, and you know that was Garfield before he even undoes the mask off. And I like the two originals, especially Garfield, who was not my favorite Spider-Man. The movies were I tend to say fine, but they weren't really good to me. They visually they were great. Story wise, I
still haven't seen them.
Just his moments with finding out how he got dark after the death and kind of redeeming himself. Like, you forget Andrew Garfield can act. I mean, you see the pain in his eyes when he's describing how he just stopped carrying and pulling his punches. I thought the two originals were great. It was great to see him again, even the one that I wasn't too thrilled about. I think, yeah, they were done right. They were done right for where they are, the stage that they are in their life as Spider-Man. I think they were done right, even down to the, oh, hey, I got back issues from all the swinging, probably.
Right.
But no, it's because you fell on a car.
Jay, what about you, Ben? How'd you like it?
I liked them. Like, I think Garfield I actually liked a lot because he is more of this lighthearted. Like, in his movie, he was kind of a douche, but he was like mellowed out in this one. So I did enjoy him. I liked all the spiders playing off of each other. I mean, obviously the scene where Tom Holland has to like kind of rally them and get them all on the same page was awesome. And yeah, like they had a lot of chemistry. Like, I thought they worked well together. And I will say, just a tiny bit of an aside, the part where Dr. Strange comes back and he was like, I've been in the Grand Canyon for 16 days. And Garfield is like, you were at the Grand Canyon? We could have used your help. Like, it was one of my favorite parts of this movie.
Yeah. So, Mo, how about you, man? What would you think?
So, like, I mean, right when they showed Garfield coming through the portal, like, I thought they were going to do the Spider-Man No More thing with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
In the alley. So I'm not getting excited for that, because just seeing that on screen is really, like, and then even after that, like, after what happened, because, Aunt May died. It's a different Spider-Man No More. Like, I can see him being Spider-Man No More after that, where it's like, you know what, this is too fucking real. Like, yeah, I fought Thanos and I was blipped and all this, but fucking Aunt May, like, that's all I have.
Right.
Like, I'm a fucking orphan, Fuck this. Like, why am I trying to save a world that's just gonna let people I love die?
Right.
and it would be, you know, but then it turned out to be Andrew Garfield, so I was like, boo, but you know, but only because I didn't like his movies, you know,
Right.
but he was great in it. Like I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised, and again, goes back to like a good script, good director. Like
Right.
they fix those problems, and like I said, like he can act, you know.
Yeah.
And then when they all come, and it's like the Spider-Man support system, like that's a Spider-Verse. Like in my dream comic is the Spider-Verse Anonymous. Like, all right, what world are you? Are yeah, here this and this happened today, and you know my uncle Ben, this is his birthday, and you know, and it's like you don't know what world they're from. They're just Spider-Man talking.
Right.
That's like the Vertigo Spider-Man comic, but
Yeah.
once it turned into that, like the war between Spider-Man and fucking the
Sinister Five.
Sinister Five, yeah,
Yeah.
the Fearsome Five,
Right.
and it was like, fuck, this is a whole other movie. Like
Exactly.
this movie gave me like 6 different fucking movies. You know?
Exactly.
So like that's a
Exactly.
whole other movie, and
Right.
like, and then man, when Tom Holland gets all fucking angry and he finally gets his revenge, and then he doesn't kill him, and then Toby gets stabbed, it's like, oh, get another death because you didn't fucking kill, and
Mhm.
and you know that's the thing about Spider-Man. Like if Spider-Man would kill, the Marvel universe will be safe, you know. but he doesn't, and he keeps fighting that good fight, that idealism, and it's kind of what like Nolan tried to do with Spider-Man, where it's like when you're an icon, when you're the
With Batman.
legend, like yeah, the idea of you influences others, you know, and
Mhm.
they didn't, you know, like this for Spider-Man. That's it. Like the idea of Spider-Man not killing is what's going to influence other people, and we kind of got a little bit of that with not the not killing part, but in Hawkeye, where Kate Bishop
Mhm.
tells Barton like, hey, when I saw you do it against
Right.
the Chitauri, like I knew
Right.
that it's not people. The heroes aren't the people that can fight and shoot laser beams and shit. It could be any one of us, and I don't have to fear
Mhm.
anything. You know, I can do whatever I
Mhm.
need to be doing. You know,
Yeah.
and that's like that echoes in Spider-Man 2, where it's like that's what it costs. There's a price to being a spider. If I want to
Yeah.
take it more into the Spider-Verse and Dan Slott and the Straczynski
Mhm.
shit, the curse of the gift of being the spider totem of that universe is that sacrifice you give. And that was one of my biggest like gripes with this Tom Holland series of movies, was that they didn't have that, but
Mhm.
this movie made up for all of it.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
every respect, and even like, oh, okay, yeah, I like even Toby getting stabbed, he's like, yeah, I got stabbed because you're Spider-Man. You know, like you just looked at it, like, yeah, I got stabbed because you know it had to happen because he's Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing, another thing about Spider-Man, like in the comics, and you know, someone somewhere was talking about this today, where Spider-Man is kind of always holding back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he never goes full force. And they bring it up in like Superior Spider-Man, where it's Dr. Octopus in his body, and he like punches Scorpion's jaw off.
Mhm.
And he's like thinking to himself, like, man, like he's always been holding back. Like if he had gone full out, like he would have killed like all of us. Like,
Mhm.
and then it's like, yeah, like he holds back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He point like it's the first time that it dawns on him. Peter Parker has traded punches with the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like this, he's definitely been holding back.
Yeah.
And
But
so
I
I
will
just imagine that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man has just been killing dudes, right? Like if he's not pulling his punches and he's, you know, random ass bank robber, like he's decapitating fools, right?
He
Probably.
can. Yeah.
You know,
It's
he's
a
like
phase.
Mortal Kombat uppercut and just done.
Yeah, it's a phase, man.
So I will say that I mean, just seeing multiple Spider-Men on screen in live action is just an amazing kind of thing. But yeah, the chemistry between these three guys was so amazing. And it was just like, it was really cool, really, to see that they were very much the versions of the Spider-Man that they were in their own movies. But at the same time, like I think I don't remember which one of you mentioned that, I think it was you, Oz, that said that, they are the version of their Spider-Man, but at the phase of the life that they would be in now, and so it was just really cool to see that, because you still get the hints of like, oh, this is that Spider-Man, this is that Spider-Man, and they're all interacting together. It just felt very, very natural. Like, it was like, it's almost like it almost justified all the existence of all those other movies, whether the good ones, the bad ones, what I'm saying? It makes it like all okay. But then the other thing too was, I love what they did with the emphasis on Tom Holland's Spider-Man taking the lead, and giving us a reason for that, because that's the thing where it's like, obviously the other two guys have seniority in regards to like how long they've been Spider-Man, but what they don't have experience with is being on a team. And that was like a great way for Holland's Spider-Man, which is also, of course, the star of the movie, to be able to kind of take point and be like, hey, like, we can do this and we can do it together. Let me show you. And, and them just kind of just like, I mean, literally getting into the swing of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it was so cool to see. And of course, when you get like the friggin' like money shots of the three of them together, like just striking those Spider-Man poses, it's like, come on, man. Like, what more do you want for, like, it's like at that point in the movie, it's kind of like, it doesn't even matter what happens next. Like, everyone could literally like just take a dump on the floor, and it would be like, well, you know what though? We got that pose and we're good. Like, it was great up until that point, and you know what? Like, we can't even be like, it was weird how that happened at the end, but it was still good. So I don't know, man. It was just such a cool thing to see, and just a great moment, like not only for Spider-Man movies specifically, but just comics in general. I was like,
it
wow.
got a lot of criticism.
It did it?
Yeah, like people, like this was the stuff I heard at the shop and some rumblings online, where they're like, sometimes fan service is just a little too much. Like they felt like it was too much fan service. I'm like, the fuck you. Like, the one dude that told me, like, fuck you, man, because you know what? They change everything. Like, they, half the time they watered down these comic book characters to the point that they're unrecognizable.
Yeah,
And it's like, if they actually gave a fuck about fan service, you wouldn't even see it as fan service, because they'd just be doing shit the way they're supposed to.
Yeah,
I still want a good Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm still waiting for that. Sandman's coming out, and it's like that. The whole fucking series better be fucking fan service.
I hear you.
We got Keanu Reeves as John Constantine. You know what? We could have used a little bit of fan service there.
Right.
Fucking yeah, man. It's just, all the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, fuck you if you're too much fucking fan service. Go fuck yourself, and I hope your mother dies.
Oh, jeez.
Omicron. Sorry, I meant to say of Omicron.
Oh my god. Damn. But no, I would be shocked to hear that as well. Like, I'm just like what are we even going to Spider-Man movies for if it's not for moments like that periodically? I'm not saying the whole movie should be that. But it wasn't. The whole movie wasn't that. It was literally the one moment. So it's like, why would we deny ourselves that?
They were complaining about Electro asking for a black. There's got to be a black Spider-Man. Like, shit like that. Like what
Dude,
else?
that was amazing.
It
Dude,
was. Yeah.
It's a great subtle line, like you know,
Yeah.
like, that's it.
Like, oh, that's too much fan service.
You're out there helping poor people. I don't know. I thought you were black.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's fine.
But that's one of the things they complain about fan service. The whole like them joking about him falling into the vat of heels. Like,
Dude, that's great because it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. That's the best part. Like, especially when and Sam Man and him talking about the super collider, and he's like, "Man, you got to watch where you fall." It's like, what are we even talking about here? It's so ridiculous. Like, of course you bring that up.
They were citing those things as fucking too much fan service. Like it took them away from the movie. Like I literally put it in those news stories I put in the comments. Like, go fuck yourself.
So
I mean, it's a legitimate.
I signed in as
point.
Larry.
It's a legitimate point. Y'all fall into some shit and become stuff like. No,
Yeah,
dude.
And the funny thing is, those are the same people where, like, if you don't give a bad guy an origin, they're mad because they don't know where he came from. It's like, you know where he came from. He fell into a vat of eels.
Mm-hmm.
He fell into a super collider.
Yeah,
like, it's just giving you info.
Yeah, man. It's wild. It's wild. But after, you know, we basically get the moment, or we get the point where we're talking about, you know, the Spider-Man fighting, you know, Fearsome Five or whatever, and it's just like, okay, like this feels, again, this is another thing where it's like this could have been its own movie, right? But after that's all said and done, which I mean, just the fact that you have each of those Spider-Men. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it like that. What I should say is, you gotta love the fact that they gave both Maguire Spider-Man and Garfield Spider-Man like their like kind of redemptive kind of moment, and like just like the conversation that Maguire gets to have with Dr. Octopus, like, you know, kind of, I mean, throughout those different interactions, whatever, it's just that's really great. And I mean, I'll tell you, man, like I love what they did with friggin' Garfield's character and Mary Jane, and him being able to have that moment is just like, dude, I was just like, man, like what a great, like it, because it's like one of those things where the character moment in that scene is like it's all like implied, you know. And I love that's how they decided to do that, because it's like one of those things where if you know, you know, and if you don't know, then, you know, I mean, they tell you in the movie, but you know, if you don't see it, if you hadn't seen his movies, you very well may not have fully understood, or, you know, if you don't read the comics, because if you read the comics, then you know the history. But right. It's one of those things where, you know, it's a moment where if you have seen or have read the books, you understand what's happening in that moment. But if you don't understand, then it's just like, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take anything away from you for watching the movie.
That moment is literally, this is not a joke, it is taught in college courses. That Gwen Stacy moment, because on how Spider-Man, how Peter Parker just effed up royally.
Mm-hmm.
And even as much as I don't like the Andrew Garfield movies, that moment is still, like, seeing it live, it still has an impact.
Yeah, it does.
I felt I knew it was coming. I know what happens. And it's still impactful, even in a crappy movie.
Mm-hmm.
And getting that impact and remembering that, to me, it didn't happen to me. I watched it. It didn't happen to me. Like, it made that moment, his redemption moment, more powerful too. And again, you have a talented actor in Andrew Garfield that's just shedding his he's got that like he's gonna cry and tears are coming out, but he's not really. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's so good. It's like such a great scene and such a great moment.
Movies again, even though I know
it made me want to like those movies.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch them and be disappointed all over again.
And you know what? And that's to me, that's where they did the moment where Larry, you might remember this. Remember in the comics in Spider-Verse when 616 Peter meets Spider-Gwen for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, this was one of those moments that I thought they could never recreate on live action, you know?
Yeah.
And it really just hit that.
Yeah.
A-Train in chat says this movie was dog shit. I want to know what A-Train's favorite movie is of all time. It's probably Fast and Furious 6.
Is that not a good one?
None of them are good.
I think Mo meant to say all of them are great.
No, they're all dog shit. Honestly, like I like dog shit. Like I clean it every day. I can tolerate dog shit.
No, they're amazing movies.
Okay. Well, anyway, listen.
Superhero movies of the modern century.
We'll save it. We'll save it for the Fast and Furious podcast.
My all-time favorite movie is Pulp Fiction, and he put favorite in a British accent. That tells you something.
That makes that comment just sound smarter to me.
Oh, to the people that perceive British people to be smarter, but they're not.
I feel like I'm wrong now.
They actually have white people in the ghetto in Britain. That's how fucked up that country is.
That's because
you're hilarious. Listen, so after you get that whole fight or whatever, then of course you have Doctor Strange. Like we're in the falling action now, and you have Doctor Strange basically getting ready to cast the spell and to basically make everybody forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Are we just gonna gloss over Ned Leeds using magic? Like that just didn't.
No, we can. What would you like to say about it, Oz?
Like, doesn't that kind of crap on Doctor Strange movie that it took him so long to figure it out, and this dude's just like, having a discussion and portal. Like, I don't know. I understand what they were trying to go with. I get the point, and story wise, I can see it. And if it happened in a comic, sure. It just felt like it kind of craps on Doctor Strange. Like Doctor Strange is just getting it from all sides in this movie. And I'm not too happy about him, being spread eagle and just clogged out of every orifice. Is the best way to describe it.
Listen, I feel like what it says about Stephen Strange and versus Ned Leeds is that Ned is open to it, and Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange at that time wasn't as much.
He closed off. He didn't believe in it. Like once they told him it was magic, he's like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." Yeah,
and so it's like if you have a guy who's like he grew up in a culture where it's like that, it's more of a possibility, and he's open to it. Especially with him, of course, being young, too, probably plays a part in it. It's like versus the guy who's like, oh no, the only thing I trust is my hands, and I need to get that back. It's like, yeah, that's why he couldn't open it it was harder for him because he doesn't necessarily think that that's actually a thing that is happening or going to be able to happen.
So does this make it more likely he's going to be Hobgoblin, or is it he's going to be something else now?
He's gonna be the Demo Goblin.
Is he Mephisto? Is that
Ned is definitely Mephisto.
No, but I mean, Ned Leeds made the deal with the demon and had the demon, and then brought out the Demo Goblin.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
They foreshadowed it. Everybody told him, yeah, you're his best friend. You're going to try to kill him at some point.
It was Ned all along.
A-Train says, dude, what are you talking about? They don't say dude in Britain. Y'all praising this shit realistically without fan service, they wouldn't be praising it. Honestly, without fan service, it would be a shitty comic book movie. Because guess what? It takes fans to buy the fucking comic books to love it, so that people give a shit to make a movie out of it.
We're fans, so we want to be serviced.
Yeah,
service me. That's what I pay for.
Like Pulp Fiction is also a fan service movie. It's fan service to all those people that read those old pulp magazines, those noir shit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what Reservoir Dogs is fan service to people that loved City on Fire. Yeah. You know, don't give me that. Fucking Quentin Tarantino makes movies just so he could give himself fucking fan service. So go fuck yourself, A-Train. The movie is a 5 out of 5.
I mean, I don't know.
Subscribe.
I don't right, exactly. I don't know if I would go that far, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, I would love to hear what the plot holes that A-Train perceives are, because it's like
there's plenty of plot holes, but
are there?
Name a movie that doesn't have a plot hole is my
right. But are there plenty of plot holes?
There's enough.
Like what?
Jason X.
What?
Jason X doesn't have plot holes?
No.
Listen, dude,
I haven't seen it, so I can't speak on it.
What are the plot holes in this movie?
Well, again, and you guys kind of, did some mental gymnastics to talk your way out of it, but like just the whole redeeming these characters just so they could die. I like Mo's point of, well, now they're gonna die knowing they're not the bad guy, which kind of like warmed me up a little bit. That in the beer, but
what are you drinking, by the way?
Rogue Chocolate Stout Nitro. We're not sponsored, but
yeah, I am actually sponsored. This is by my.
It's not focusing.
By that.
Oh, there you go. Bam.
Dude, where's my? Oh, I have a Christmas beer too. And before that, it was Cherry Blonde, a local. The brewery is actually like down the street.
This is from San Diego. What was the place called? Green Flash Brewing.
I see why you got it.
Yeah. Why Green Flash?
Yeah. Because you like the Flash and you like the green stuff.
Well, the thing is,
the filter on your cigarette is green.
MCU explains the multiverse in this weird, crazy way across 3 different shows. DC says, "Oh, he just ran real fast right here." So you need some green to make that shit work.
A little bit of a dig too with Flash Thompson's book, Flashpoint.
Yeah, I did see that.
Technically, they flashpointed before flashpointed.
Yeah. So
A-Train says, I mean, fan service as in bringing these old characters back, jackass. That's the kind of I'm talking about. Think logically and ask yourself, would you like this movie much if they weren't in it? I think everybody was expecting they would be in it just in a flash, not as a plot point.
I think what he means.
The thing is, here's the thing. I'm not an Andrew Garfield fan. And I hated Spider-Man 3. Like, the fact that MCU was moving on with another Spider-Man, like, for me, it would be great if they weren't in it at all. If they didn't have to put him in it. Mm-hmm. And then them putting him in it actually made it better. And I don't even like their fucking movies.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, like you call me a jackass. You still haven't said a plot hole, A-Train, if that's your real name. Like, you're going back on plot holes, but I mean you're going back on fan service. Like, yeah, again, some people like fan service, some people don't. You don't get these movies made without fans, and you got to service them. Period.
But I will say too, if like the problem with that point is that it would be a different thing if it was done poorly. But it's like if you bring because I'm with you, Mo. Like if you ask me, what should happen in the third Spider-Man movie, I'm not going to say bring back the old villains from the other movies, because to me, I'm like, that's like, that's what X-Men did. Like, X-Men was going in a direction that might have been good, and then they brought all the old people back, and it became bad again. And I'm like, dude, like, that's messed up.
I would have said one of the biggest problems with a lot of movies is when you get to about the third one, you have more than one villain, and it's too much. It doesn't work. That happened in
Maguire.
Yeah, both of them, both of those Spider-Man movies. Well, Garfield, the sequel had too many villains in it, and didn't the sequel only have 2? No, it had it had Goblin and Rhino, well, sort of,
and Electro.
Yeah, so it had at least 2.
The Goblin was in the second Andrew Garfield movie?
Yeah, because the first one was
Lizard. The Harry Osborn.
Okay, I don't remember. Oh yeah, you know what? I do remember now. Damn, that was terrible. Yeah. Jesus. Oh my God.
That's what I'm telling you, that when you have more than one villain, those movies tend to not be good. So I wouldn't have said Sinister 5 or 6 or whatever they were. And while we're on the is it 5 or 6, the whole blue balls with the Venom stuff, like that pissed me off. I don't know if you guys probably enjoyed it because you hate Venom.
Oh, you mean that that he didn't do anything?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'm glad he wasn't in it. Yes. Yes.
No, but it's not just that he wasn't in it; is that he's not going to be in it. Which, by the way, throws a monkey wrench into the. I mean, do you know how that screws up the Morbius stuff?
Well, no, the movie screws up Morbius stuff as it is when Osborn says, "Oh, I don't have a company here. My company's gone." And then there's Oscorp in Morbius. It's a plot hole. Yeah, A-Train was right.
A Morbius plot hole.
Yeah, a Morbius plot hole.
Yeah. So what's this saying?
Yeah, he says one plot hole is when Doctor Strange says everyone pulled into their universe knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Electro doesn't know Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And I don't know about that because I didn't watch that shitty ass fucking movie. Because guess what? That movie had no fan service. It had nothing for a Spider fan like me.
It's a good point. He doesn't.
Yeah. Again, I never saw that. So yeah, you may be right, and that's where we're at. But at that point, does even Eddie Brock know too? Like,
No, Eddie Brock doesn't know Peter Parker at all.
There was some again mental gymnastics for Venom. I heard people saying, well, because in Venom 2, Venom says that he has multiversal hive mind knowledge. People were kind of like saying, well, maybe there was, even though in the MCU, as far as we know, there hasn't been a symbiote.
Right?
In fact, the shit stain that Eddie Brock leaves.
Is that what you're gonna call it?
It's like the first. It just feels like he didn't wipe. Yeah. He just kind of left it a little. And a lot of people think that he's a shitty Venom.
What by the logic, that's Carnage, right? Like,
no, please God, no.
The point is
when he left Carnage.
The point is Venom, like Eddie Brock being there, doesn't make sense. You really have to stretch to get. You have to stretch, but he wasn't really in the movie, technically. Right. So
I agree.
So they get away with that, but yeah, the Electro thing, he's got a good point. Electro did not know,
and I don't remember Amazing Spider-Man 2. I did watch it, but I believe you if you say he didn't know that Peter Parker was, or he didn't know that Spider-Man was Peter Parker. I believe it, and I guess you're right. That is a plot hole. I don't think that is a plot hole that destroys the whole movie, but apparently A-Train does. And that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion, as wrong as it may be, A-Train. So
because that's what I wanted to know too. Because they were showing the Rhino and Craven later on, as people coming in.
Oh, were they?
Well,
Yeah.
the Rhino that you see doesn't look like the mechanical Rhino that Andrew Garfield fights. So theoretically, it's a whole different dimension Rhino.
Yeah, and it could be, you know, that's
Because it
maybe
looks
in
like
his
a classic
universe he
suit
knows
Rhino.
who it is. You know,
It looks like D'Onofrio with a horn.
yeah, it looks like a comic Rhino, but you know, maybe in his universe he knows. And then I know they're trying to make a Craven movie, so I know there might have been some things they shoehorned in because Sony wanted it that way in case they start doing their own shit. Because
Maybe.
isn't their contract with Marvel over too?
Sony's been trying to do the Sinister Six for a while, so they need that sixth character.
Yeah, I don't think the contract is over. Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe the contract is over, but everything they've been saying is we have plans to do more MCU collabos with Spider-Man. So yeah, Spider-Man's not leaving the MCU. It doesn't seem.
I don't think it's over because I think doing the Venom movies is what keeps them in contract.
No. With MCU, like
The
Spider-Man.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That contract's over.
Yeah.
I think the Tom Holland contract's over.
You know, I feel like Tom Holland maybe has one more appearance he's supposed to make, I think.
I think this is the last one.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah. But and that's why, you know, at this point they just make more Andrew Garfield movies, or, you know, but just hire a good director, man. Like, that's it. Get a good story. Hire Dan Slott. I mean, fuck, the people at Doctor Who hired Dan Slott.
Yeah.
He's gonna be writing those, which, like, if you read his run on the comics, like, it was like Dr. Spider-Man. You know, like he used a lot of, because he loves Doctor Who. He turned Spider-Man into a science adventure. And
I hope Andrew Garfield is the next Doctor.
Again, like, hire Dan Slott, pay him money. Like, that's the whole reason why you like any of these modern Spider-Man movies. Like, even the fucking the suit, like the superior kill suit. Like, I want to see that. Like, all my clients were like, I want to see that kill suit. And I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna see it. That's Superior Spider-Man.
What did Tiger Claw? What was he asking?
He was asking if that piece of Venom that was up behind, what are the chances MCU will turn Flash Thompson into Agent Venom?
Zero. -2.
I think it's a big chance.
No way. Not that guy.
That's the opposite of fan service. Like, A-Train would love that, because fan service would be like, you're a fan of Agent Flash Thompson being Agent Venom? Oh, we'll give you a shitty Flash, and here, the opposite.
No, I don't think he's gonna be Agent Venom necessarily, but I think he'll get the suit first.
No, it doesn't. Like, that Flash Thompson is talk about fan service. Like, that kid could have been. I'm so mad because he plays an Indian guy, but he's Mexican.
Is he really?
Yeah, I found that out this week, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? You got an Indian guy playing a Mayan in Wonder Woman 84, and then you got a Mexican dude playing an Indian dude in Spider-Man. What the fuck? Like, brown people really are fucking interchangeable, man.
That's not cool.
They're the new Asians.
But that dude, like, I have zero interest of seeing any of him in a leading role, like, as far as, like, or superhero role, like that character. That's what I should say. I'm not talking about, like, it would have been different if it was like, he doesn't feel like the bully. He just feels like the troll, like an annoying person.
He's the bully in the Miles Morales school.
Got you. Yeah.
It's White Miles. Remember what I said from the beginning of the
right.
White Miles.
White Miles. Yeah. Yeah. So
A-Train also, how the fuck does Peter Parker beat Doctor Strange, an ex-sorcerer supreme, by using fucking geometry?
Because math outdoes magic.
Yeah, like, you can't have magic without math.
Right. A lot of math, a lot of magic, sorcery style magic is based in math, because it's changing natural scientific laws.
Think of it, A-Train, like you in your favorite country in Britain, you know, unless he's just an idiot American that spelled favorite differently, But yeah, when the woman knew how to do math, they're like, witch! And they burned her at the stake.
Well, that solves it.
His other point about Ned is something that I brought up earlier too.
Yeah,
He did.
But
It
he's
bugged
open.
me.
He said his nana said we're magic people. Like it's a like they put it, they wrote it into the plot. Like,
It still bugs me, but it doesn't like ruin the movie.
it's the same reason Oz. Like Oz, you're a Mexican dude. You know your grandmother said, "Oh, my thigh hurts. It's gonna rain." You know, like that. You're open to magic. Like you could
Dude, my
imagine.
wife says that.
Yeah. So like you. She
Which
well,
is
your
a
wife is
combination
open
of
to magic?
science. It's a combination of science and magic because science put a metal rod in her leg that hurts when it's gonna rain. So it's
There it is.
Your grandma didn't have that metal rod, and she still said it. Like it's in my
Oh,
bones. It's a storm coming.
Grandma is magical.
Yeah. Like
So-
you're open magic, you can wield that ring. It's not like a Green Lantern ring. It's not like like you need enough hope or enough will.
I'm covered in magic symbolism. Like I got all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
What's that say?
You're missing the point, Moses. I'm not saying I flat out hate fan service, but it's clear that this movie. Hold on, I need to touch to read, so I keep putting my cursor over it, and it takes it away. It says hide.
Oh, okay. It says this movie. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying I flat out hate fan service, but it's so clear that the movie brought all these characters in because of a cash grab. The end scene was the best part. Look, any fucking movie, like we've had this. Look, it's clearly his first time ever being on Fantastic Forum, because I'm usually the guy that hates all these fucking movies and I call everything a cash grab. Nothing is cinema. Nothing is art. And this movie manages to be a cash grab and be a fucking masterpiece. You know, like there's no this movie. This is what I'm gonna say about this, and I guess I'll rate it because we're getting into the tight two, and then we could just banter or whatever. But this movie really does do the cash grab shit. Yeah, it gave you, between the fan service part that you say, bringing all these villains, all these characters. Look, it's a cash grab, and it gives you a really good fucking story. Look, you got plot holes. That's fine. Everything has the best fucking comics have plot holes.
It's true.
A-Train, if you would have been a more loyal viewer, listener, you can hit the link up here somewhere, and you'll find our review of Long Halloween, where like they did things the comics didn't do, and it actually fixed plot holes in the adaptation. And and some of it was fan service, some of it wasn't, but it's like they felt they needed to fix it. Because even some of the best, the Godfather of comics, which is fucking Long Halloween, had fucking plot holes. So I'm not gonna say it didn't have it. I didn't notice them at the time. And you know what? I'm a fucking fan, and I finally got. You haven't been here with us long enough to know that I haven't gotten a comic book movie that I've actually loved in the entire time comic book movies have been existing. So let me fucking have this A-Train.
So listen, before we get to rating the movie and all kind of stuff.
Well, I know you skipped a bunch of like the indie comic book movies, right?
But that's the thing, is like they were great fucking movies. I mean, like History of Violence, Vincent Locke, man. Vincent Locke, I'm a fan on many different levels. Like he did the cover for fucking Eaten Back to Life by Cannibal Corpse, and then he did fucking the masterpiece that is History of Violence. Like, yeah, you're gonna get that, but nobody gives a fuck about those. Like, I want Spider-Man to be fucking tight. I want Jonah Hex. I want the shit that really like got me into History of Violence. Didn't get me into fucking comics, Joe. Spider-Man got me into fucking comics. Doctor Strange got me into fucking comics.
I'm just saying Whiteout is pretty good.
Whiteout's fine. Surrogates is fine.
Atomic Blonde was pretty good too.
The movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but you didn't read that comic beforehand.
I didn't. No.
Yeah, nobody did. Like all those indie movies, nobody read the comic till after the fact. A Train says Spider-Man 2 is the best. Look, I always maintained that until I saw Into the Spider-Verse. That was the best.
Into the Spider-Verse.
He says
Spider-Man 2 was one
he
of my
also says
favorites.
you're telling me that this was the comic book movie you were waiting for. What a fucking joke.
Listen, I will tell you, it's interesting because, like, I know that, you know,
here's the thing. Look, when A Train finally gets to the age of being able to have a drink, we'll have a shot of whiskey and we'll talk about it in person. In the meantime, enjoy your bar mitzvah.
So he's a Jewish Brit.
He's a prepubescent kid. He's a prepubescent kid. Like,
So
he doesn't know enough.
I was gonna say, you know, Mike Wellman was like on social media put out a list of how he thought the Spider-Man movies ranked, and I'll tell you, man, I was shocked because he put I don't know, I don't remember how many Spider-Man movies there are at this point, but it's damn near enough to do a top 10. But friggin' No Way Home was like
number 5,
like 5 or 6,
yeah,
like 6.
I know
For him.
I didn't want to bring that up, Larry, because
and I was shocked because one of the Amazing movies was above it, and he put both of the prior MCU Spider-Man films above this one too. And I'm just like, wow, like the only one that I was looking at that I was like, okay, I can see if you're like Maguire Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, like I could see why you would like Spider-Man 2 is a really good movie. Like it holds up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's better than this one, but I could understand why somebody would think that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I could also, you know, see I think his number one was Into the Spider-Verse though. But which, you know, and I get that too. Like that makes a lot of sense to me too.
I saw the list and I didn't want to bring it up because we're friendly with Mike. And you know, look, you know where I'm going with that, right, Larry? Mike's going through some shit right now.
He's not thinking clearly.
He's you know, he's going through shit. You know, as with the pandemic, we all tend to go through shit. He's going through shit. He's into his own. He's having his Peter Parker moment with sense of power and responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but okay. The question I did want to ask though is, how do you feel like this movie stacks up against Into the Spider-Verse? So, yeah. Wait, did A-Train say he won't be having a beer with Mo? Yeah. What? Dang, A-Train. Don't take it personal.
Yeah. Now, he got offended when I say he's a Jew, but I didn't mean he's a Jew. That's the only thing I can equate because males don't have quinceañeras. You know what I mean? So, like, that's the only. I mean, we stopped doing the spirit journeys. You know,
that's the only coming of age ceremony that you knew of culturally.
Yeah. He's like quinceañera. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm Mexican now,"
or a woman. And I didn't want to go that bad. That's hardcore. Like, I'm not that mad at A-Train.
Also, you didn't say beer. You said whiskey.
Yeah, but, you know, he drinks beer. That's part of what his problem is. That's what the comment is. He prefers beer over whiskey.
So, Into the Spider-Verse versus No Way Home. Which one is a better Spider-Man movie?
Compare it to that one?
I want to know that. Like, for me, I want to know which one of those do you feel is the better movie? I don't think there's any wrong answers, to be honest with you here. I'm just curious because I know for me, I was like, you know, that like I felt like Into the Spider-Verse was the best Spider-Man movie. And then I saw this one, and now I'm like, I have thoughts. I want to know what you all think. I'm
generally gonna go with a live action over an animated anytime, just because there's more work that the actors have to do instead of some guy just drawing the emotions. So, having said that, considering that I thought Into the Spider-Verse was one of the best Spider-Man movies up until that point, says something about how bad I thought the Spider-Man movies up to that point were.
Wait,
yeah,
so
I will personally edge out this No Way Home over the Spider-Verse, even though I really, really like Spider-Verse and I can't wait for the next one.
okay, that's interesting. Okay, and so just on GP of it being live action, like that gives. Wow. Okay.
Well, it's
okay.
just
Well,
like I said, it's a lot more work to. Andrew Garfield was putting way more work in his face than if this was animated, he would just do the voice.
mm-hmm.
Well, voice acting, while it's not something I could pull off, like voice actors are more talented at doing voice acting than I am.
Of course.
I would say put them on screen, and somebody who's strictly a voice actor can't do what some regular ass actors can do. So I always edge out a physical, actual person doing the acting over voice acting.
I disagree with that 100%.
I'm gonna have to change that.
All right. Oh, what's it say? Spooter? Spooter says, I've been lurking, but in my opinion, I think that Into the Spider-Verse is the better movie. All right, Spooter. Appreciate you letting us know what you think, man. Like, that's good stuff. If the rest of you want to let us know, please jump into chat, or hell, you could call in. Look, fantasticforum.live.
It's too late for that, man. Joe's got to go to work in the morning.
No,
don't tell nobody to call in. Shit.
Listen, see, now when you have that reaction, that's gonna make somebody call in. Just chill. You know, Jay.
I'm surprised Jay's still here. He's like waiting for his turn.
Jay, Into the Spider-Verse versus No Way Home. What do you think?
I would get the nod to Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's animated, it takes a lot more work. Like, you have a lot more people. Anyone can like make an arm movement, but when you have like people drawing that arm movement, taking like literally millions of frames to get this movie to look like it's in motion, like the hard work, you got to give it to them, to the animators.
I've done 3D animation. It's not that hard.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Look at you. Look at you. How dare you?
And we all know he can't. Sometimes he misses shows because he's too busy creating 3D animation as a career.
So, Moses, what do you think?
It's a tough decision. I would give it to honestly, I love fucking seeing the live action shit better. Like, but you wouldn't have this if Into the Spider-Verse didn't take the risk that it did and do what it did. I mean, they took the risk of giving you Spider-Man you've never even seen before.
That's true.
When A-Train gets mad and talks about the fan service of these old characters, they give you characters nobody's ever seen that hadn't read comics. You know what I mean? And they did it, and they made it well. They did it like even just his Uncle Ben is his Prowler. They gave him the Uncle Ben in the first movie. It took 3 movies to make Uncle Ben into Aunt May here. So it's definitely, and look, the music, I still listen to that Prowler theme. Like when he finds out that he's the Prowler, I listen to that. I want to say at least twice a day. On my drive home and on my drive to work, I listen to it at least once. I know it's on my hair cutting playlist at work, and it's on my gym playlist when I work out. So it pops in and out there. So Into the Spider-Verse gets it for me. I did enjoy this one better, but the better movie is like that's the pioneer and saying, easily saying that No Way Home is the better movie is solidifying that the pioneer never gets the credit it deserves.
Yeah. Well, what did Big Man 24/7 say?
Basically said, watched making of Into the Spider-Verse just today. It was the biggest animated production to date.
Wow. Yeah. Appreciate you chiming in on with that, Big Man. So yeah, man.
A-Train couldn't handle it. He says the stream's a joke. I'm out.
Oh, sorry, A-Train.
Just if anybody can reply to him, tell him thanks for the conversation. Because that's what we love here. He doesn't get the show, but here we are.
Here we are. For me, man, I think I gotta go with No Way Home, but only because, like, Into the Spider-Verse is definitely like,
Oh boy.
right there. It's right there. But no, and I will take the old boys because I think what inches No Way Home out for me is the fact of the whole MCU aspect of it, where it's like, to see Spider-Man getting to like hang out with Doctor Strange and to see, him have a conversation with Matt Murdock. It's like, dude, like that stuff and really good, solid versions of those characters as well. It's like, that's what I read. That's what, like, so ever since I've been reading comics, I've been waiting for that to happen, and it was just super cool. And I agree. Like, I can't wait to see what direction they take, like, this version of Spider-Man in next, because, man, I think we're about to get what very well might be the next best Spider-Man movie. So it's like, it'll be No Way Home, Into the Spider-Verse, and then maybe this fourth one. So, yeah. All right. Anything else anybody want to say before we rate this joint and get out of here?
We have news still, right?
Nah, man, look, you don't see Joe? Joe's asleep already. Lower the tones. Okay, thank you.
There you go.
All right. So look, final thoughts. We're just give us your rating as your final thought. Jay, what would you rate Spider-Man No Way Home?
5 out of 5.
There you go.
I had a great time watching it.
There you go. Oz, what would you rate Spider-Man No Way Home?
Is that all I get to do is just rate it and then we're done?
That's it, man. Type 2.
Okay. 5 out of 5.
Did you want to say something else?
I watched a couple episodes of season 4 of Star Trek Discovery and remembered why season 3 was the biggest piece of ass that ever existed and should be wiped off the earth.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Okay. Well, look, we're going to save that for 2022. There it is. All right. Spooter with the rating, 4.5 for me. Okay, there you go. Moses Magnum, what would you rate Spider-Man No Way Home?
It's a 15 out of 5. Like, the shit's fucking great. Plot holes and all. And, I could have used another Spider-Man, like, maybe not a Spider-Ham per se, but something a little new, something they could veer into moving forward in case contract disputes happen, But it went the way it did, and I love it for it. And I mean, honestly, the real person like you should talk to about how much I love this movie is Emily, because she saw me like the day leading up to it. Like, I was listening to the Ramones singing the Spider-Man TV theme on a 24-hour loop, like, all day. I was driving recklessly. I'm not a reckless driver. I'm actually a really safe driver, and she hates me for that. But I was driving recklessly to make it to the theater in the rain, and
yeah,
like that does it. Like, this is one of my life's moments, no matter what A Train says.
Listen, shout out to Spooter once again. He said, subscribed. Amazing discussion, guys. Thank you very much for that, Spooter. We do appreciate you. And yeah, if you're watching. Oh, go ahead. What?
No, Big Man says great show, too.
Yeah, thank you, Big Man. Appreciate it. I am going to give it 5 out of 5 as well. I enjoyed it was amazing. So many great moments. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thanks for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back in 2022. We're not going to be doing the show next week. So, see, look, Joe's already asleep. So, 2022. But, dude, for all of you that have been watching Fantastic Forum throughout 2020, 2021, during this pandemic, thank you. We appreciate the support. We really do. And we're hoping to bring you bigger and better episodes of Fantastic Forum in 2022. Wow, that's so crazy that we're here already. But we do appreciate the support. Please keep letting us know what it is you like, what you don't like, what you want us to cover. And we hope we're going to have a lot of cool and interesting things in the new year. So until then, we're out.